So good afternoon. Kami ang last group among i-report is all about the girls Rizal loved before. So na siya 9 woman. So si Segunda Katibak, Leonor Valenzuela, Leonor Rivera, Consuelo Ortega Array, Seco Oswe, Gertrude Beckett, Zazane Jacobi, Nelly Bosti, Josephine Brocken. It can only be through passion that one can conquer and accomplish what Filipino hero Jose Rizal had in his 35-year life. He stopped at nothing when it came to expressing his love, not just for his country but also his woman. He travels His travels across the Philippines and the world waved him into multifarious relationships that colored almost half his life. There are 9 women in records, sumutong pangalan ka ganina. It's not to say that all these relationships were serious, but he did pursue when he wanted to pursue, cared at least, and displayed his attentiveness and charm unapologetically. So first is si Segunda Katigbak, ato siyang hisgutan. Segunda Katigbak, they met when the young hero visited his grandmother with his friend Mariano Katigbak, Segunda's brother. The Katigbaks were close as Rizal's grandmother, and coincidentally Segunda was at the grandma's house when Rizal and Mariano arrived. It was attraction at the first sight. Segunda was also a close friend of Rizal's sister Olympia, whom he visited every week at the La Concordia College. The two became very close. However, Segunda was already engaged to be married to a man who lived in her own town, and Rizal had to stop pursuing her. So, kani si Segunda Katigbak is a family friend ni siya nilang Jose Rizal. But, nag-unang upang si Jose Rizal sa it's because kani si Segunda Katigbak is engaged siya sa lain niya lalaki. Next is Leonor Valenzuela. Leonor Orang Valenzuela Rizal's second object of affection is literally the girl next door. So, muna siya ang second woman siya, like, second love po niya. They met when Rizal was a sophomore medical student at the University of Santo Tomas, during which time he also lived at Doña Concha Leyvas, a boarding house in Intramuros, Manila. Orang, who was then 14 years old, was his neighbor. So, silingan o gipuy-an sila ni Jose Rizal ani dito sa Intramuros. So, ato nga time si Leonor Valenzuela is 14 years old pa. Next is Leonor Rivera. They met when Rivera was 18 and Leonor was 13. At the boarding house of Rizal's uncle in Intramuros, Manila, dito sila nag-meet. Leonor was Rizal's second cousin. It was a perfect love story in the beginning. He, the intelligent charmer, and she, the beautiful student who had beautiful singing voice and was a talented piano player. Soon they were besieged by obstacles. Leonor's parents highly disapproved of the relationship as they were very wary of Rizal's being a filibuster in his letters. Rizal called Leonor Taimis to hide their identity. So kani si Leonor Rivera is kining parentera sila ni Jose Rizal. So, disagree ang mga parents ni Leonor Rivera kang Jose Rizal ato ang time muna siya nga kining nagbulag sila, dilipod sila pwede. So next is si Consueto Ortega Array. Consueto Ortega Array was the daughter of Don Pablo Ortega Array, who was mayor of Manila when Maria de la Torre was the governor. While Rizal was in Madrid, he would hang out at Don Pablo House, which became a place where Filipino students would often get together. Through one of these gatherings, so dito sila nag-meet ato nga gatherings. So, he showed affection towards Consuelo but was not serious in his pursuit as he was still engaged with Leonor Rivera at the time. So, ato nga time, nag-try ni si Jose Rizal upang kung Consuelo or Tegari, pero yung gistop it's because engaged pa siya kang Leonor Rivera ato nga panahon. Next is si Sika Osoy. It was in 1888. Rizal was just arrived in Japan from Hong Kong upon invitation to take a job offer at the Spanish legations. One day, while he was in the office grounds, he saw Osisan walk past the legations gate and was immediately enthralled by her beauty. When the help of with the help of Japanese gardener, he asked to be introduced to a woman who captured his eyes, and the gardener Accus, accused accused Rizal spoke little Japanese at the time, so the gardener had to serve as a translator. However, a few moments into the conversation, they both found Osisan spoke English and French, which was a relief as Rizal spoke both language. When the language barrier broke, they started to build a relationship. So kani si Siko so isang meet sila dito sa garden katong naa sa Spain si kining napa sa Hong Kong ang kaning si Rizal. So dito sila nagmeet ani. First ato nga pagkuha nila is tapos sa translator sa ilang duha. Pero when na-discover na ni Rizal nga kabalo day magstorya si Seko Soy og kining English o French, murag kanang nakuan bitaw si Jose Rizal. Dito rin nag-start ang ilang love story nga kanang sila na lang duha ang kining gastorya. Gertrude Beckett. In the same year, he began and ended his relationship with Osesan, RGR, then 27, went to London and meet a woman named Gertrude Beckett. So ato nga time, nagbulag ato nga year, same year, ngayong gipanguyaban si Osesan, dito ra po, same year po, dito ra po, gyapon sila nagbulag. And then, yadto ni si Jose Rizal sa London. Dito niya na-meet kining isa ka woman nga si Gertrude Beckett, the eldest daughter of his landlord. So, muna siya eldest daughter sa landlord, kagipuyan ni sa landlord ni Jose Rizal. Gertrude showered Rizal with all the love and attention of a girl who is hopelessly in love. She even assisted Rizal as he finished some of his popular sculptures. Prometheus Bound, The Triumph of Death Over Life, and The Triumph of Science Over Death. He called her Gitai. She called him. He called her Gitai. She called him Pitai. But all documents led to say one thing: the feelings weren't mutually shared. So, marag isa ra ang naglove sa ila atong time. Wala po sila nag-work ni Richard Beckett. Next is Suzanne Jacobi. When he arrived in Belgium in 1890, he lived at the boarding house that was run by two sisters, whose last name was Jacobi. The sisters had a niece named Suzanne. The relationship was probably a fling, too, as Rizal made no mentions of Suzanne when he wrote letters to his friends about his stay in Belgium. Rizal left the country in August that year. Suzanne was heartbroken. Rizal continued writing El Filibusterismo, writing for La Solidaridad, and worrying about his family back home. In 1891, Rizal went back to Belgium not for Suzanne, but to finish writing El Filibusterismo. So ato nga time, pagbiya ni Rizal sa iya is heartbroken kayo siya. But then, the next year, 1891, ibalik si Rizal, but dili na para kang Suzanne, para sa iyang writings El Filibusterismo. Next is Nelly Bosted. Remember that famous time when Antonio Luna and Jose Rizal almost got into a duel because of a girl? The girl is the middle of the madness was Nelly Busted. Rizal and Nelly met in Beat, Biarritz, where Nelly's wealthy family hosted Rizal's stay at their residence on the French Riviera. Before Biarritz, Rizal already made friends with the Busted family a few years back and even played fencing with Nelly and his sisters. So, kani siya, mga friends na gid ni sila daan ni Rizal, but kining, mo nang dito sila nag-start ang ilahang kining love story pod. Next is si Josephine Brocken. Josephine Brocken was the woman who stayed with Rizal until his executions in 1896. She was also allegedly the woman whom Rizal married. However, accounts of their marriage have been much debated over the years. But just like the other Rizal's great loves, this one was once again complicated. No priest could marry the two, for reasons that are still unclear. unclear, but perhaps it was because of Rizal's status in politics. So kani siya is gidungog lang bitaw nga na married silang duha pero wala sila kining katibayan gyud nga ihag yung gipakaslan si Joseph Penbroken. Wala bitay mga witnesses nga kasal gyud ni silang duha. Without a legal paper, Rizal and Josephine lived together and had a son who died a few hours after birth. Rizal named his son after his father, Francisco. So, without legalizations, nga kanang storya raman nga kanang married sila. Without legalizations, yapon, wala sila mapapilis nga mapakita nga married sila. Nag-live-in sila, nag-ipon ni sila. So, muna siya ang pinaka-last nga woman nga sa life ni Rizal, Josephine Brocken. Dinani sila anak, but in the few hours, namatay ra siya from birth. Pagpanganak, few hours after siya gi-anak, kaning baby ni Rizal is namatay ra siya. And then, kani din niyang baby is lalaki. So, gipangalan niya sa iyang father. So, gipangalan niya Francisco. In retrospect, maybe Rizal was not meant for a long commitment like marriage. With all his troubles and freedom, fighting obligations. So, kani bitaw si Rizal kamar wala siya time nga kaning makig-commit sa kaning mga babae kay it's because secure siya travel dayon daghan bitaw siya kanang ginabuhat sa kinabuhi kaning mga freedom fighting obligations niya. Maybe heroes can only be alone with their thoughts. Left alone, they will naturally think too much and thinking for an entire country. We assume can be exhausting. Maybe Rizal just always needed a companion. So, murag bitag kining. Sa sige, lugar balhin-balhin niyo sa Rizal ug Lakaw, mura bitaw siya kining every place replace inana kay gusto lang siya og kining naa siya kanang makauban or naa siya na mo care sa iya in that place nga iyang gipuy-an. So more gusto lang siya naa siya companion lagi na siya kauban so inana. But if there's one thing the alliances and longings and pursuits reminds us, it is that heroes are humans too. Humans have needs and he did die for our country. He gets a pass even when he was a master in ghosting. So even so grabe si Rizal nagyud siya master sa ghosting no. Pero even inana siya sa mga woman nga niagi sa iya he is also a human and hero na to siya. So, wala siya time nga kaning makikommit sa other girls kay it's because ato ang country ang iyang gihuna-huna ato nga time dili ang kani bitang makikommit sa uban babae sa babae kay ang iyang gihuna-huna first is kita mga Filipinos nga ihatang matagaan og freedom from the kining mga Spaniards ato nga time. So, muna siya nga wala siya time makig kuan so yang ginabuhat yung mag char lang kanang nalang siya ka kining ka flying or na something so mo to siya ang end summary for you. Thank you.